Lesson 8, Goodbye to the Moon by Monica Hughes. Let's start. Monica Hughes was a Canadian author who is especially known for her books on science fiction. She also wrote adventure and historical novels. The text Goodbye to the Moon is an adaptation from one of her popular works of science fiction. Let's read. I sat in the dark view room of the space station. I looked out at the earth. It was somewhat I looked out at the earth. It was somewhat familiar to me. There was a small photograph of the blue planet in our drawing room. I, Kepler Masterman, was born on the moon 15 years back. My mother had been dead 5 years ago. She had told me stories about the earth, that excitingly unknown place. My father is the governor of the moon. He was going to on an expedition to the earth, and here was I, accompanying him on my first ever journey to the earth. I looked down at earth. It seemed so close to me that I felt I could touch it. We had to wait for another 15 minutes before our journey started. Feeling restless, I left the viewing room and glided down the long passage to the center of the space station. I could see my father there surrounded by reporters. I came back to the view room, which was empty. I looked out into the space. My moon, my home, appeared very small now. At home, the kids would be getting ready for the party. There's always been a party at sunrise. The sun rose only 12 or 13 times a year, so it was something special for us. The sunlight crept slowly across the surface of the moon until finally night was gone. Word nest. View room. V I E W space ROOM, view room, meaning a room which has a glass panel so that one may look at the outside world. Next, space station. SPACE station, STATION, meaning a satellite stationed in space for scientific work. Glided, glided, glided meaning moved away smoothly. Let's continue. Suddenly the door opened behind me. I could hear excited voices. The ferry from Earth must have arrived. It carried passengers from the Earth, ready to go for the moon safari. People eager to look around the moon. And here we were going to the earth instead. I slipped out of the room to the central lobby. Father was standing there. There were the last minute goodbyes. Good luck, Governor, someone called out. See you in next 6 months at the least, replied my father cheerfully. I walked with him to the earth ferry. It was magnificent. It was 3 times as big as our moon ferries. Is everything on earth as wonderful as this? I whispered to father. Pretty much so. It's different from home, father replied. The ferry moved slowly out of its dock. It entered the earth's gravity. I found my eyes were closing. It seemed only a few minutes before father's voice woke me up. Kepler, you mustn't miss this sight. We've just entered into the Earth's orbit. Look! I looked out eagerly. I recognized the narrow stretch of Central America, then the majestic Atlantic beneath us. The planet's all water, I gasped. 7/10 of it are, father agreed. A world that was 7/10 water. On moon, water was harder to get than oxygen. We had to pay for every ounce of it. Washing was a luxury and drinking a special delight. I had grown up thinking water was the most precious thing in the universe. Now I could see that the earth was covered with it. We orbited across North Africa and Arabia. I could see the blueness of the Indian Ocean, then the Pacific. Are you feeling unwell? Father asked. Don't worry, it will get better. It's just the weight difference. I realized I weighted 6 times my normal weight. After a while, I lifted my head. Passengers were busy collecting belongings. We had landed. I struggled with my own safety straps. Father leaned over to help me. Word nest. Ferry. Ferry. Ferry, meaning a vehicle that carries people. Dock. Dock. Dock means a raised platform that provides access to ships and boats. Next is orbit. Orbit. Orbit means the path followed by a planet or satellite. Next is ounce. 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 A small unit for measuring weight equal to 28.35 grams. Next is strap. Strap. Strap means belt. Let's continue. Someone called out to my father, Governor, the press and TV are waiting for you. Oh, sure, I'll come right away. I watched him leave down the aisle. Immediately I swung my legs down to the floor. I realized standing was tough and walking was very difficult. I practiced one foot and then the other, up and down the aisle, holding on to the seat backs for support. I put on my jacket and walked with difficulty to the exit point. I saw a crowd of reporters and cameramen surrounding my father. It was really a new world. There was a storm of voices. How loudly the people of the earth talked. Governor, would you say the differences between earth and moon people can never be solved? I am convinced that with a clear understanding of our problems, the differences can be settled in a friendly manner. Governor, how long do you think you will stay on earth? I guess that it may take as long as 6 months to a year to settle our differences. One last question, Governor. Now you are back on Earth again. Will you tell our listeners which is really home to you, Earth or Moon? That's a difficult question to answer. All my culture ties are with Earth, but I must say that it is the moon where my present and future lie. My son was born there, my wife was buried there, my work is there. It is good to be back on Earth, but moon is home. Father saw me standing among the reporters. He gave me his arm. We walked together on the landing pad. The sun was gently warm. I looked up. It was strange being outside without a space suit. Earth will certainly be fun. I lay back and thought of the pyramids and the Taj Mahal and the mysterious jungle buildings of the Incas. Would 6 months be time enough to say it all? Word nest. Aisle. Aisle means passage between two rows of seats. Convinced. Convinced. Convinced means made oneself believe that something is true. Next, mysterious. Mysterious. Mysterious means strange. Incas. Incas. Incas means people from an ancient civilization in Central America. Thank you.